While SUVs are the current kings of the road, we cannot discount the fact that the small city car still pulls its own weight when it comes to market share. Perhaps it's the ease of driving and parking, or its appeal to single drivers, but the small city car is still quite popular. Now what I have here is one of the more good-looking contenders in the subcompact hatchback category, and that's the 2020 Mazda 2 Elite Hatchback. And today, we're going to review it. Let's do this. When I did my video of the Mazda 2 sedan version, I received some clamor from my viewers to feature the Mazda 2 hatchback version as well. Well, now we have Mazda Makati to thank for this opportunity to do a showroom review of this Mazda 2 hatchback. Now, while I'd love to drive this baby around and give you a drive impression, unfortunately, we do not have any test drive units available, so we'll just have to make do with a showroom review. Now, before we begin the video, I'd like to ask you guys, and let me know in the comments below, if you prefer the sedan version of the Mazda 2, or if you would go for the hatchback version. Now, let's begin. Starting off with the front, the hatchback gets the same exterior design as its sedan sibling, except it has a sexier rear. It has that same updated Kodo design language that we've come to love when it comes to Mazda. You've got that nice floating Mazda emblem right there in the sea of a blacked out front grille. You also get a couple of LED headlights, but unfortunately, instead of getting the LED running light that could be found in the sedan variant, the hatchback only gets a bulb. Really? Just a bulb? Well, at least it is much more good looking. You also get this nice chrome accent here at the bottom part of the front grille, which further enhances the look of the two. Now moving on to the side of the Mazda 2 hatch, you will notice that it's a bit shorter than its sedan sibling. Naturalmente, because we've literally removed the trunk in the hatchback version. Now looking at these rakish lines to the side, these are part of the updated Kodo design language, and coupled with the sporty stance of the hatchback, you would be forgiven if you thought that this was a hot hatch. It's sporty without even trying, just like that high school crush of yours that managed to steal your heart when you weren't looking. Now when it comes to wheels and tires, you've got your 16-inch alloys in gunmetal finish, the same design that could be found in the Mazda 2 sedan, but I dare say that these wheels look much better here on the hatchback version. Now hiding behind those 16-inch alloys, you've got four-wheel disc brakes, which is a testament to the sporty nature of the Mazda 2 hatch, and it also adds to your brake performance and safety as well. Now the rear is where the hatchback trumps the sedan, at least in my eyes. While the sedan has those garish fake vents that runs across the entire rear bumper, you can find none of that fakery here in the Mazda 2 hatch. You'll notice that the lines of the rear are beautifully sculpted, it's pleasing to the eye, and unlike other hatchback designers where they just chop off the trunk and call it a day, you can see that the Mazda designers have given much thought on how to design this beautifully sculpted rear. You've got your LED taillights here, and even looking up top, you will notice that the shark's fin antenna also integrates quite well with the lift gate. Now going down here to the plate holder, you will notice that you've got your rear view camera there, and while you don't have the dual exhaust pipes that could be found in the higher Mazda models, you still got your single tailpipe finisher there. Now when you open the lift gate, okay, it's a manual opening lift gate, no biggie there, but when you look at your trunk, you will see the penalty or the price that you have to pay when you opt for the beautiful and more sportier hatchback version. While the sedan can accommodate 440 liters of trunk space, you will have to make do with just 250 liters worth of stuff when it comes to the Mazda 2 hatchback. Well, it's not really a big thing because if you need more space, you could always tumble down the seat backs of your back seat and double your trunk area. Now let's get over to the engine and see what kind of motor powers this baby. Now moving on to the engine, both sedan and hatchback versions of the Mazda 2 in the Philippines come equipped with the same 1.5-liter Skyactiv G engine that's good for 108 horsepower and 141 Newton meters of torque. Now while those power figures might not seem like much, do keep in mind that the Mazda 2 weighs in at only a hair above 1,000 kilos, which makes it even lighter than the Mazda MX-5 Miata. Both sedan and hatchback versions as well come with only 6-speed automatic transmission. You don't get any manual transmission variants here in the Philippines, at least for the Mazda 2. If you're looking for a manual, you might as well look elsewhere or get yourself a Mazda MX-5 Miata. You also have that classic traditional hood prop that is quite well known in a lot of the Mazda vehicles, and Mazda's penchant for putting a couple of cup holders inside the engine bay on the engine cover. What, you think I'm serious, guys? Those are just jokes, come on. Anyway, let's go inside the car now and see what kind of goodies we can find in the driver's seat. Moving inside the Mazda 2 hatch, you will be forgiven if you thought that the seat material were finished in brown Napa leather, because they're not. These are brown cloth seats. The top half has this lighter brown shade and the bottom half has a darker brown shade, which should hide those dark stains quite well. The seats themselves are quite slim, but given my average Asian build, it holds me nicely. It's quite firm, it's supportive, and I feel that it would hold me in place while I'm carving mountain roads in my Mazda 2 hatch. Now, looking at the steering wheel, you've got a leather-wrapped steering wheel, which has a few buttons for your infotainment system and Bluetooth calling. You don't get any cruise control here in the Mazda 2, at least in the Philippines, but you do get paddle shifters hiding behind here in the steering wheel, which adds to that sporty character of the car. Now, looking at your instrument gauges, you've got a semi-analog, semi-digital instrument gauge here. Front and center, you've got your analog speedometer, and it's flanked by 2 digital displays, which displays your digital tachometer and a few more information like your fuel, your engine temperature, and all that. Now, moving to the infotainment system. The infotainment system found in the Mazda 2 hatch is a 7-inch Mazda Connect infotainment system. The LCD screen has been tacked on top of the dashboard, which is similar to what you can find in the MX-5 Miata, and it's quite good. It doesn't have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto as far as I know, but it's really not a big issue because the Mazda Connect system is one of the better systems that I've seen in the cars that I've reviewed. Going down here to the climate control, you've got automatic climate control for the Mazda 2 hatch, and your center stack here, though it's quite slim, is beautifully finished and beautifully designed. You've got these carbon fiber inserts found here in the center, which adds to your sporty touch, but you've also got these glossy black inserts here near the gear shifter and on the outer part of your center stack, which after a while would accumulate some scratches and some dust, so I'll give a pass to that. Over here in the center, you got a couple of USB ports, a nice little cubby to put your cell phone in or other stuff, and a 12-volt charger as well. Now, moving from the gear shifter, which is also leather wrapped, you have your sport button here, which further enhances and improves the handling and response of your hatchback in case you are sending the car. Now, you've got your controls here, the master control knob for your infotainment system, and it has a small bump here where you could rest your palm while you're fiddling around with your master control knob. You don't have a center armrest found in the Mazda 2 hatch, which is quite strange because normally that's found in premium cars, and Mazda is positioning its cars to be a premium offering. You also don't get an electronic parking brake here in the Mazda 2. Still, you get this traditional handbrake, and you get a couple of cup holders and a small cubby as well here at the back. Overall, when you look at the dashboard material, it's finished in soft touch plastics. You've got a nice glossy black insert here in the center dash, which adds a little bit more pop in your interior. You've got this nice matte aluminum finish character line as well found near the AC vents. So overall, even if the Mazda 2 hatch has a small interior, it is tastefully done, and it has a lot of those nice soft touch materials that enhances your driving experience. Now, hatchbacks typically have less space in the back seat than its sedan siblings, so let's check out the back seat just to see if it can accommodate normal size passengers. Now seated here in the back seat of the Mazda 2 hatch, you will note that the space is quite decent, especially for someone of my height. I'm 5'6", and as you can see, I got a decent amount of headroom, a decent amount of leg room and knee room. But if you're taller than me, you might be better served if you just stay in front and be more comfortable. Now, the Mazda 2 hatch can accommodate 3 people across in a pinch, but it's still better if you just have a couple of passengers here in the rear. The center tunnel is quite high in the Mazda 2 hatch, considering it's a front-wheel drive vehicle, which this center tunnel will impinge on the foot space of your third passenger. Now, when it comes to toys, you don't get much in toys here in the Mazda 2. In fact, you don't really get anything at all. You don't have an AC vent here in the middle, you don't get USB charging ports, you don't even have a dome light, and you don't even have a back seat pocket for your driver's seat. So yeah, absolutely zero toys here in the back. So it's clear that the Mazda 2 hatch is really a driver's car, and the people who are relegated to the back seat are just there to sit and be part of your drive. While the Mazda 2 sedan may seem like the more practical choice due to its larger boot space, the Mazda 2 hatchback appeals more to the sporty driver who prefers a lighter, more agile ride than its more practical sibling. With its shorter length and sporty specs, the 2 hatchback can easily whiz through city traffic, especially when you're using those paddle shifters. Now, when it comes to pricing, the Mazda 2 hatchback has been priced at the same level as the sedan sibling, which means that this comes in at 995,000 pesos. Now, this car is clearly meant for the single sporty driver because the focus has been put mainly on the driver experience rather than on unnecessary backseat toys. Once again, guys, thank you for watching one of my car reviews. If you like this review, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel as well. I promise you I'll make it worth your while if you subscribe to my channel. Once again, I'm Reagan, and I'll see you again in another video. Bye-bye.